Ladies and gentlemen, it's 6 a.m. in Turramurra in the north of Sydney. Here, or maybe here, depending on how good your geography is. We're about to embark on a 104-kilometre ride for charity. I thought, 104 kilometres, that shouldn't be too difficult. But I was totally wrong. I've been cycling for over 3 years now, and this was the hardest cycling that I've ever had to do. Now, I'm not an expert director or filmmaker or even a good cameraman, but I'm hoping this video documentary that I've put together will take you on the same roller coaster ride that I went on. This is the Bobbo 2024. The amount of people here is immense, over 1,000 cyclists. This is the start line, or I guess you could call it a queue. They start cyclists in batches for safety reasons, and we've been waiting about 15 minutes to get to the front of the queue. But through the magic of editing, we're off. It's a beautiful day to go riding. Open roads, very few cars and plenty of space. The weather is great. 15 degrees at the start, rising to about 20 degrees later on. Almost no winds. It rained a little on the way in, but it's already cleared up by now. This is my first time riding in this area, since I live on the other side of Sydney. I've travelled about an hour to get here. This is the first descent, and it was an amazing road. I'll track the gradient in the bottom right so that you can follow along. Green is good. We like green. This descent reaches speeds of up to 60 kilometers an hour, which is actually mind-bogglingly quick on a bike. The end of this descent is actually the Bobbin Head, the namesake of the ride. I didn't even realize. Blame the cameraman as we go whizzing past. What goes down must come up, or something. The event starts and ends at the same place, so any amazing downhill that we go on, we have to climb back up again, and this is the first big one. Climbs are fun, we like climbs. I got bamboozled by this group in front of me. I thought this was the real drink stop, so I stopped and had something to eat here. It's very important to keep fueling on long rides, otherwise you run out of energy and bonk. Also, I'm not sure about this guy, but whatever works for him, I guess. This guy gets an award for the second coolest bike that I saw on the event. It was so shiny. He told me that it was 13 years old and that he couldn't part with it. That's how bikes should be. Find a bike that you love and then you keep upgrading it as things wear out. We chatted for a little while, but you can't really see him as he was next to me. Blame the cameraman. This is Mona Vale Road, heading towards Terry Hills. Famous for being the weather radar for Sydney. #BOM. It's a beautiful, quick, sweeping road to ride on. This descent along Kooyong Road gave me vertigo. It looks less imposing in this video than it does being there. You just see this massive drop in front of you into this massive wall of climb. But it doesn't end there. There's like 3 of these in a row. It's crazy. Drinks break time. This suburb is called Duffy's Forest. Remember to fuel and hydrate on long rides. This turn off to the drinks area gets the award for most effort from volunteers. They had police cars and a loudspeaker and many people with batons. It was just crazy. But then, where did everyone go? This whole stretch of road is just very lonely. Another descent along McCarrs Creek Road. I've never ridden this route before, so I was just taking it easy, but there were so many people who flew past, easily at 70 km per hour or more. It's 2 hours and 8 minutes in. I saw this sign and my heart sank. 52 kilometers to go is halfway. But it came at the worst time. It was on this long rolling series of climbs that just took so much effort to go through. You get to the top only to descend for about 30 seconds to get to another climb. This guy gets the award for the 3rd coolest bike of the event. His bike was clean, but best of all, his event bib was so aero. We chatted for a bit and then he dropped me. Clearly because of the aero. We're headed down into West Head Point. This is the pinnacle for the 104 ride. But I first want to call out this troll drink stop on the right. You have to finish the descent and then climb back up before you can get to the drink stop. They knew what they were doing. But it was well worth it. Just check out this view. We're looking out over Broken Bay and Barrenjoey Lighthouse on the right. It's actually just spectacular. The camera doesn't do it justice at all. Anyhow, we have climbing to do and a quick drink stop. Oh, that's ominous. Hey, listen, cycling gods, I swear I like hills. I'm sorry. Can we just go back to the chapter where we were having fun? But my bike isn't working properly. Something is wrong with the left shifter, which controls the front chainring. I stop, I inspect it, and I find that the cable has snapped and the derailleur is jammed hard in the big ring. I try to fix it, but I fail. The cable has no tension and the derailleur is jammed in a position where it cannot move. This is where despair kicks in. I'm just going to put this here because it's looming and it's my biggest threat from now on. There are no mechanics around to help, and another cyclist did stop to help, but we both agreed that it's I said stuck. It's stuck. I have a few options here. I can continue to try to fix it and possibly make it worse. I can leave it and ride on with only the big ring to ride in, or I can give up. I'm not going to give up, but at the time it felt like a pretty compelling option. I cut my losses and carry on. I only have the big ring now. This makes riding and climbing very hard. Let me explain what the issue is. My bike has 22 gears, 11 on the back and 2 on the front. The gears let you regulate your effort, so you don't have to put in as much power when going up hills in exchange for speed. But I don't have that option. I've lost access to half of my gears. My easiest gear has gone from a ratio of 0.88 to 1.35. That's approximately 50% harder. Instead of climbing hills at 7 kilometers per hour, my minimum speed is now going to be about 11 kilometers per hour. This is despair. Knowing that what goes down must come back up again, and the biggest climb of the ride is coming up, Akuna Bay. This is David. He's a legend. I chatted with David for a long while. He was given an event bib after a friend pulled out at the last minute, and he was totally unprepared for this ride. He was thrown into the deep end doing the 104 ride, but what a legend for taking it on. Talking with David helped me take the focus away from the problems with my own bike. I also hope I helped him out with his own challenges. But disaster strikes David's bike. His chain dropped on this climb, and I helped him fix it. For reference, if your chain drops on a bike ride, just push the rear derailleur forwards to give yourself a bunch of slack, and the chain should go back easily onto the ring. But David needed a break and told me to go on ahead. David was a legend, and chatting with him was exactly what I needed. We've reached Acuna Bay. Check out this Acuna Bay cheer squad. They even have a sign and they were cheering everyone on. This is Steve. That cheer squad back at Acuna Bay, they were his family cheering for him. How awesome is that? But this climb was tremendous. The section is 18 minutes long and it just goes on and on. And this was the only forced stop of the whole ride. I just could not put the power down to keep pedaling up this hill. This section should seem familiar. We're winding our way back through Terry Hills with about 20 kilometers to go. We meet Ivan, who explains, "It's almost over." He's super interested in my plight. "You're doing a 1-bar." We brainstorm video ideas. Thanks for your support, Ivan. One last drink stop before we are home. But we bump into the legend David before leaving. Well done, David, for conquering Acuna Bay. Turning onto Mona Vale Road, there was a car crash just to the left. Again, blame the cameraman, I didn't catch it on video. We catch up with Super Dad Steve here, who is super excited that we made it through. Could have done it in the little cog. Sure. But thanks again, Steve and family, for their support. We meet Pete. He was riding the 80 kilometers on a mountain bike. This is a huge feat in itself. It's hard enough on a road bike. Well done, Pete. We're into the final few kilometers of the ride, and I just want to mention the hundreds of volunteers and marshals that make this event possible. They're all doing an amazing job, and the majority of them were cheering on all the riders as we went past. Thank you, volunteers. We're here. No, not to the finish, but to the best bike of the event. And it's not even a bike. Check out this beast doing the 27-kilometer ride on a unicycle. Now we're actually here. This is the finish. 104 kilometers down, 1800 meters of climbing, 4 hours and 24 minutes of riding time. And it's over. Just like clockwork, my camera battery ran out. This was an amazing charity event. I'd like to thank all the people who donated to my fundraiser who made this video possible. I hope you enjoyed my roller coaster of a ride. The fundraising supports Lifeline, who run a crisis support and suicide prevention hotline. Chatting with people really helps you get through the tough times, and Lifeline provides this vital service for people who need it most. If you can donate, please consider it.